What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another Vizzy Inks video. If you haven't checked out the last video, you might want to go check that out. We started tattooing, going over basic line work, different techniques to pull different lines, and other basic shapes. In this video, I'm going to be talking about and going over 5 different things that I've learned so far in my self-taught tattoo journey. There are different types of ways in order to learn and pick up knowledge in tattooing. You have where you can be an apprentice, you can be self-taught, you can take small classes or take courses, stuff like that. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about what I have learned so far. I have my little list. It's not nothing crazy. It might look like a lot, but it's not. I guess I will start with when I found interest and got interested in tattooing. I've always had an interest in tattooing, but because society at the time, it wasn't really a well-known thing to want to be a profession in. So it was kind of that type of job that was frowned upon, or if you do it, then you gotta be really good in order to make a decent living and stuff like that. I never pursued it earlier on because I was afraid that my parents wouldn't support it or wouldn't understand, and that they would be against it, and just a lot of self-doubt within myself, thinking that it's not gonna do enough or I'm not good enough, stuff like that. So I got to a point where I wanted to just see what it's like, what it's about, and I wanted to put my doubts and worries to the side and just see where this can really take me. So I ordered my first tattoo machine about 5 years ago. It was the coil machine. That is way more difficult to put together than just a wired tattoo pen. The difference between a coil machine and a tattoo pen machine, the coil machine takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more understanding and knowing how to properly build that machine in order to properly use it and make it effective in order to get the best result. With a pen machine or the wireless type of tattoo machines, it's less of a hassle. The stuff is already built in, and all you really have to worry about is your volt value, your stroke value, and just knowing what different type of needle sizes you might need for the machine for different pieces. We can dive more into that in a different video, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of my history with tattooing, what got me to this point. I ordered that machine, played around with it, tried to understand it. It became very difficult, and then I just was like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. I gave up completely. It wasn't until years later that I realized that that's not the only type of tattoo machines they have. They have these wireless ones, and they have ones that doesn't involve the coils and having to put the rubber bands on the coils and fixing the needle properly to get it to properly work and function. So I took it upon myself. I said, I'll try it. So I ordered myself one off of Amazon, and I've loved it ever since. And I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. Then my brother actually brought me my Intermission one. It's another wireless machine. This one has just a little bit more efficiency in terms of stroke values, where the other one doesn't really have an adjustable stroke value. So I just switched up the machines. I still use both. They're both really good machines, but that's where I was in terms of tattoo machines and how I kind of got started. So now getting into the 5 things that I've learned so far. The first thing that I've learned is that just because you can draw doesn't mean that you can tattoo. So for me, I've always known how to draw since I was a kid. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an artist because I haven't really been dedicated to finding my style and drawing daily and stuff like that, but I know how to draw. I thought it was going to be easy. Okay, I could pick up a pencil and draw a picture. Picking up a tattoo machine and tattooing is not going to be that hard. It is, because with drawing with a pencil, you're allowed to erase. You can make a mistake and maybe start over. When you're tattooing, you don't get that option. You can't just erase a line that you might have made a mistake on, or if you did a crooked line, you can't go back and erase what you did. Whatever you do, it's done and it's permanent. So that's why it's important to know everything that you can before actually tattooing on human skin, because once you damage skin, there's really no coming back from that. And that's another thing. You just really got to understand what you're doing. You got to understand what needles you're using, if it's the right needles, if it's the right voltage, if it's the right stroke. Everything has to be accounted for when getting ready to tattoo something like that. So that's why it's important to learn or relearn whatever new skill that you pick up. You have to become a master at it and really understand what you're about to do, because picking up a pen and drawing, literally, it's not the same at all compared to tattooing. The second thing that I've learned so far is that drawing daily helps a lot more than I had expected. Now, as I had previously said, I know how to draw. I understand, values, proportions and stuff like that. I have not really been doing it daily as I should have, especially in the past. So I'm kind of relearning and getting into that habit of drawing daily, whether it's something from my memory, copying something from Pinterest, whatever inspiration, coming up with my own designs. Drawing daily is going to help because it helps you to look at something and know how to translate it to paper as you would a tattoo. So when you're tattooing on skin, you still have your reference photo. You might have it on your iPad, you might have it like printed out, and you're looking at the reference and copying that image to the skin and transferring it. Even though you have transferred the image to the skin, sometimes it fades away and you kind of have to just freehand it and know where you're putting your values, your shapes. You're making sure the proportions are right. Like drawing and getting comfortable and understanding that you can draw what you see and pretty much replicate that, that's a big important step. The third thing that I have learned, using a pen as well as other pencils and other mediums, using a pen helps a lot with understanding different pressures to get different types of values and just understanding how ink works. While using a pen, it also helps me to understand that once you make that line, you can't go back and just erase it. You kind of got to just keep going and see what you can get out of whatever you're using. I would say when using pencils or using charcoal, it's kind of easy to maneuver that because you can go back and kind of erase it. But using a pen for drawing, for example, me working on this, you can see that half of it is kind of ink, the other half isn't. So I used pencil to help with kind of knowing where certain values are going to go. But once that's gone, and if the picture is not fully completed with the sketch, once you use a pen, you can't go back in and erase it, no matter how much you put pressure to erase it. So if I was to make a mistake over here, maybe around the eye area or the nose or the mouth, I can't go back in and erase it. Now I just kind of keep going and build and see what else I can get out of this. So using a pen is very helpful in understanding value, understanding how to properly, intentionally make your shading, and understanding how value works and how to create different tones and different shading techniques. Like all of that is going to help because you're doing the same thing with the tattoo machine, but it's just going to be on skin. It's not on paper. I would say start getting used to getting in the habit of maybe using ink pens, different types of ink pens, to understand how to properly utilize that and finding different techniques to get different values in a lot of your pieces. The fourth thing that I would say I have learned is that fake skins help. I know this is a 50-50 for some people. Some people hate using fake skins and think that it's very ineffective and that it's just not worth practicing on. But in my opinion, I think it's worth practicing on. Using the proper type of fake skins will help in the long run. Using cheap ones from Amazon, of course, you're not going to get the most knowledge with that in terms of learning how many passes you're going to need, because you get a good understanding of how to properly handle a tattoo machine. You're not always going to create the best image because there's a bunch of different fake skins out there. You have very affordable ones, but maybe cheap ones off of Amazon, or you might have to get your money's worth and buy better quality fake skins just to understand how to properly hold your machine, use your machine, distribute ink, and get familiar with a lot of different techniques, and also getting familiar with different needles. I feel that fake skins help, especially if you know what you're doing. Like for instance, using fake skins, a lot of people will say won't help because when you're using it, some people use it on a flat surface. Anything on your body, there's not really a flat surface. Anything on the body is curved. You might not have a flat surface unless it's maybe on your face, your back, but even then there's still a little bit of curvature with that. So some people, to make them, make it easier for them, they might use fruit, or they might use the fake skin and put it on something brown, maybe like a paper towel, and just kind of get used to tattooing on a curved type of shape or curved anything, just to get more comfortable and understanding how tattooing will be like. I would say fake skins help because you'll understand how to at least work your machine. Now, you may not produce the best images, or packing in black and fake skins is the hardest thing to do because you have to do a lot of passes, where if it was real human skin, you won't have to do as many passes because it's different. That's why a lot of people have mixed feelings and opinions about fake skins, but in my opinion, it'll help. If you're practicing literally just the basics like line work, circles, shapes, values, shading, different types of shading, that's different. Of course, fake skin is always going to be your best friend when it comes to that. In terms of actual pieces or build your portfolio, I would say get the better quality brand when it comes to trying to accomplish bigger pieces or pieces that you want to use for show to show your work off. Invest in the better quality. But all in all, fake skins, they help. Before we get into the last and final lesson that I have learned, I want you to comment down in the comment section below, locked in, all right? Just so that I know that you still have tuned in this far to the video. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss an upload. We are coming in 2025 heavy, okay? Heavy. So make sure to comment locked in. You could either do locked in or you could put the little lock-in emoji. Either one will suffice. I think I'm gonna do a competition next time or something. Maybe the fifth person that comments it will get like a little reward or something. But maybe. So the last and final lesson that I have learned so far is that you have to be dedicated to tattooing daily. I struggle the most with this last one. I'm being very transparent. I'm not gonna put on this facade that I do this every day. I'm addicted to it. I want to be, but I'm not there. I have always struggled with staying consistent and remaining disciplined to whatever it is that I want to put my mind to, whatever skill I want to develop. I struggle with that. I'm the biggest procrastinator. I struggle with this, but that's why I told you guys to comment I told you how to comment, because I want you to understand that really honing in and locking in and staying dedicated to what you want to do, it's literally gonna pay off. Like, I know it's probably very cliche. I thought it was cliche to hear it all the time from all the upper content creators and stuff. Oh, you really just gotta be very dedicated and you really gotta want it and you really gotta put your all into it. It's true, yes. The passion is there. I'm very passionate about creativity, art, all of that. But I am going to work on my dedication to it. I'm going to work on being more disciplined, whether that's drawing something, posting more, getting more out there, just expanding my horizons. Like, I'm going to be super dedicated to tattooing and tattooing only. It might be hard, it might be a struggle. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's gonna be days where you're not gonna wanna get out of bed. There's gonna be days where you're not gonna wanna do anything. It's okay to take a break, like a day off. If you get in the habit of slacking, you're going to start lacking in areas that you thought you had in the bag. Like, for instance, for me, when I first got my first little tattoo kit and I had my little skins, I was tattooing. I was going in. Once I ran out of skins, I would make an excuse like, oh, I don't have any more fake skins, so I had to wait to order more to start practicing. No, that's not the case. You don't always have to tattoo in order to get better at tattooing. Drawing is what's gonna make you better. Studying videos is what's gonna make you better. Watching other people is what's gonna make you better. There are so many other things that's gonna make you a better artist, but you just have to be dedicated into using your resources and what's available to you. We have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have so many resources that there's literally no excuse, so I had to sit back and really tell myself, just because I don't have the resources of fake skins in order to tattoo doesn't mean I just don't tattoo or I don't dedicate a certain amount of time to tattooing. If I want it, I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes hand in hand. There's not one without the other. So I'm glad if you made it this far to the end of the video. If you liked what you have seen, if you like this video, if you like what I'm doing, if you like the content that you're seeing, give this a like and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an upload. Make sure to follow me on social media because I post on there as well. I interact more with you guys on there. I can do but so much on YouTube as far as just maybe responding to comments. Of course I could do that, but if you really want more advice or in-depth advice about certain things that you're doing, you could always feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram or TikTok, and I'll be more than happy to assist in giving my advice or my opinions on certain things that you guys might have questions on. If you feel like there's anything that resonated with you or anything that you feel that you are learning as a self-taught artist or even as an apprentice, feel free to leave that in the comments. Yes, so don't forget to subscribe. Got a lot of stuff coming on the way. I don't know if I want to tell the big surprise now, if I want to wait till the next video. I'll give y'all a hint. You'll be able to book soon. That's all I'm gonna give, but you'll definitely see the big reveal, big surprise in the next video for sure. I'm hoping. If not, you know what it is when you see it. But if you follow my social medias, you might get a little heads up. But don't forget, social media, Vizzy Inks, TikTok, Vizzy Inks Booking, or it might be Vizzy Inks too. The handles is gonna be down here, so don't even worry about it. I got you. Yes, a lot of big things on the way. Just continue to grow with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna try to, no, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna build our little community, and make sure that you guys stay tuned and give you guys as much resources as I can. Like, I'm really locking in, bro. Like, come on, bro. Gotta be there with me, you know what I'm saying? Gotta just be there, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of stuff on the way, so just stay tuned. I'm excited. I hope y'all excited. So, you know, yeah. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Ouch.